My name is Bechler, and like most skateboarders, I have fallen a decent amount of times when doing the act of skateboarding. And luckily for me, or not luckily for me, I'm not really sure which one to use, I've had a huge group of friends who all do YouTube to capture a lot of these moments of when it happens. And a lot of times when I do fall, it just doesn't seem normal. And what I mean by this is that there's just something always super off and weird and funny at the same, all put together during my falls, and sometimes they can hurt really, really bad, and sometimes they just look hilarious, which is why YouTube was invented. YouTube was invented for skateboarders to upload their falls so that people could laugh. But you know what? I was thinking about it today just because of this super recent fall that I had on Sam Tabor's channel. I was like, I need to just go through all of my own falls and just kind of talk about them and I don't know, I feel like the stories behind these falls can be funny in themselves too. So I wanted to share these falls with you over the last few years and explain the situations of what was going on in my head and what was going on at the session when it happened, and I just thought this would be an interesting video idea. I've never done something like this before where I'm watching skate clips and talking to the camera, but if you guys like this type of stuff, let me know. But to get started, we're going to start with this line back in probably 2013. I had just learned how to do nollie lip slides on flat bars. I was actually just starting to get really comfortable with skating flat bars, which was what, like 4 years ago. I wasn't comfortable skating them, but I really wanted to learn nollie lips. It was my first nollie into a trick grind ever, and so here we go. Here's the line.
Sick.
Front 50, just got really comfortable with those. You can see that really bad front 50. But here's the nollie. Just slammed down. So yeah, I really went for it right there. So the story behind this, I had my old roommate Doug, who him and I used to go skate at this park that was at our college, and it had the most perfect flat bar. We would literally drive 20 minutes out just to go and skate this flat bar because it's the most perfect thing ever. He taught me a lot of my flat bar tricks, and nollie lips I think were one of the tricks that I learned after I learned front lip slides, and I was like, well, it should be easier just to pop it up on there. And when I popped, maybe during that day I had landed one previously and I was super comfortable with doing it. But on this attempt, I fully committed to it, and I just slipped off, and my foot did not contact the rail at all, and I just slammed right on the ground. So that was the nollie lip fail, and I've done plenty of nollie lips since then, and they're one of the easiest flat bar tricks ever, but that was like the day that I had them, and apparently didn't have them, all at the same time. Alright, so here is the number 2 fall. So as you can see from that, that was me trying to do a 3-flip on a bank, and I ended up kind of tapping on the top of it, and when I was coming back in, I was screaming on the way down, and what I was saying was rock fakie, as in I was doing a 3-flip rock fakie on the bank, and it just turned out being super goofy and funny, which is why I think Andy wanted to do a Fall Friday on it, and I've been on Fall Friday a couple times. This one definitely not as serious as a fall, but it was definitely super funny, and I thought it'd be funny to share with you guys if you haven't seen it before, but yeah, so, and with that, continuing, we also have another Fall Friday that I was on. The Triple Slam Skateboard Fall is what Andy called it. And, so ollie up, great. I think I was trying to film for Loose Skate Die right here. Primos are not my friend, and I think during this time, I had just gotten semi-comfortable with doing nollie flips, and I wanted to get one in the line. And at this spot, at the time that it was here, we had this like outledge that somebody made. It was like a DIY, like bunch of cinder blocks with coping on it, and I was trying to do ollie up, nollie flip on flat, and then front 50 kickflip. And I was super close to the front 50 kickflip, and I was like, well, I should do the nollie flip because I've been doing this a lot lately. And I pre-mode and pre-mode and pre-mode so much. I was really mad. I did it so many times that day. Alright, so now we are over at Sam Tabor's channel, and a long time ago he had this series on his channel called Weird Line Wednesdays, and I was on a couple of them, but when I was trying to film this line, let's just watch. Hop out of the woods. I literally tried to jump and I just missed my back foot. I just completely missed it and slam. Again, not that serious of a fall, but funny nonetheless, and I thought that would be a good one to include in this little montage of the falls that I'm showing you. So, no story behind that other than me just sucking at jumping on a skateboard. Alright, so we are down to the last 3 falls that we have here, and for this one was a little bit I would say, scary in the sense of my eyesight, because here, I'll just play the clip first. So. Embarrassing, hurt a little bit, and funny, all in the same clip. So with this fall, we were night skating, and when I was trying to do this trick, I was trying to do kickflip, and then like kind of stalled a nose manual and switch manual my way back down. And one of the attempts before this one, I did the kickflip nose manual, and it shot out behind me, and it went out into the street, and I was freaking out. I was like, and I had to run at it and catch it really fast. So in this fall, you can hear me say "not again," and I start freaking out and spin around, but since it was nighttime, it looks really bright in the clip, but in my eyes it was kind of blurry and it was a little bit dark. I didn't even see the thing behind me. I yelled "not again" because I didn't want the board to go out in the street, and I just my feet got all caught up on the little ledge sticking out, and I slammed right on my elbow, almost hit my head on the ground too. And the ground at that spot, it's called Shapes in Cincinnati, is super like rough and rugged, there's cracks everywhere. It's just not the ideal ground you would want to fall on. Pretty much, I guess to sum up these falls is to subscribe to Sam Tabor's channel and you'll see me eat it a lot. Alright, now we are down to the last two falls. They're both a little bit more, I would say, not funny. These were a little bit more serious of falls, so.
Which brings us back to this terrifying moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Casey Bechler ragging himself.
Bop. The next day, I think I stayed at Alex's place or something. When I woke up, my entire leg, I think it was my right one, like the side of the knee, was just super sore. So I think on the way down, or just the pressure itself of like locking in, like, I don't know, something made it hurt really bad, and it felt like it was like bruised too, and even during this fall, like, it didn't even, like, my nuts didn't get hurt that bad. But this was not the worst one out of all the clips that I have here. This next one will actually be the worst one, which is funny because it's actually the tiniest rail. They came to OSU, and we skated this rail. OSU is a Ohio State University, for those of you who don't know. I took Andy here, because I knew he liked rails. And it's like a super, like, the roll-up is very thin, and it's a little kink at the end too, and it's just not, it's not ideal. It's not a really good spot to skate. I ended up getting the board slide here. And then I think Andy gets my back, maybe? I can't remember. So yes, Andy gets my back. But you're like, where's the fall, Casey? And the fall is actually on Instagram. So I ended up going back to this spot. It wasn't during the same day. I think it was probably months later. And I was skating here with my friend Devin at nighttime. And since I was super comfortable with hopping on the rail, I figured I would be able to do this at nighttime. Turns out I could not be more wrong. Here's the fall. I will watch it with you. I have to scroll back a decent amount on his Instagram page to find it. So he pulls it down the phone very fast because he was scared, and I was scared too, but I ended up hopping up, my board went away from my feet, and I ended up sacking the very straight, flat, kinked part, and my legs didn't even meet contact with the ground, so it was all on my nuts. And the scariest part about this was that I stuck my hand in my pants after to make sure everything was okay, and I actually had blood coming out of my private areas. It ended up, when I would go to the bathroom, there would be blood still coming out, and this whole experience was super scary to me. It's probably the reason why I don't skate handrails anymore to this day, because I'm very scared about something like this happening again. To make a long story short, I ended up calling my doctor about it after a day of the same going to the bathroom problem happened, and she was like, do you have any pain when you're using the bathroom? I was like, no. She was like, you're fine. The only time that should be a serious issue is if you do have pain when using the bathroom. So I had a big sigh of relief, and the blood that came out stopped after a few days or so, and it healed up, which was great. But yeah, ever since that injury, that little sack that you saw right there, I've not been a fan of hopping on rails with my legs like this over the rail because I'm so scared of blood coming out of me. It's not a good time. And that was some of my funniest, most embarrassing, and scariest skateboarding falls. So I guess you could say those were all my worst falls. Those were all the top whatever worst falls. So there you guys have it. That was, this is my first time ever doing a video like this where I'm watching clips and talking about them over them while it's happening, and I thought that my falls, since I do them all the time, and I'm good at them apparently. I thought that would be a good thing to do, and I enjoyed this. I like talking about it. I didn't think I would have anything to say about them, but it turns out I have a lot to say about these spots, and I have a lot of good, bad, funny, and embarrassing moments during skateboarding, and I thought I would share these with you. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. I could do actual landed tricks and then talk about like the process of doing them and stuff. But as far as that, I don't really have much idea. So I want you guys to leave comments below if you first of all did like it or not, and if you did, try to leave a suggestion too, and I will try to. I'm just gonna be worried that I wouldn't have anything to say about any more things, but apparently I could talk up a storm about these clips. So if you guys want me to start doing more of these videos, I will gladly do it, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. I know some of these falls may have been a little bit, I don't mean to bum out your session before you go skating if you're about to, but try to take it as a learning experience and not to fall like I do. So I'm going to go ahead and drink the rest of this with my teeth. That actually really hurt. And I will see you guys in the next video. Watch this. I'm never gonna be able to do this. Oh, I almost did. I'm just gonna break my camera. Goodbye. Spaghetti.